It looks like we're not making anything based off of the paper, right? So we have 2 pieces of Daffodil Delight that measure 5.5 by 4 1/4. So that's our standard card size, and it does fit. Well, the card will fit in a standard envelope, okay? Then I have 2 pieces of scraps for stamping. And then this piece is important. It's for the signature, and it is 3 1/4 by 4. So we're just going to set this one aside for now so that we don't get it dirty. And we're actually going to set these 2 aside, and we are going to stamp first. Okay, so I have my little stamping basket here, and he is a photopolymer stamp. So you do want to use your stamping mat. I'm looking at this saying, is the piece big enough? Let's hope so. I might have to stand to stamp. I don't typically sit. My feet are killing me. I shipped packages from about 8:30 yesterday until 9:30 last night. I'm sure that people in our neighborhood are probably wondering why my lights are on like so late all the time. I was not going to go to bed until I got them all done. Although I had 6 I had to do this morning. I gave up. Okay. Press. Now we're going to stamp the bird. I've given up teaching the birds how to say good morning. And I'm switching to love you. So now I'm saying, love you, like 100 times a day. I'm determined to teach them something new. Okay, now we're gonna color. Oh, I was right in the middle of a sentence and I stopped talking. So I was saying that I'm one of those people that don't know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. You can tell me, I'll forget. It's just not one of those things I retain, kind of like numbers. It's crazy how our brain works, right? We can tell you something that happened 100 years ago, but we can't tell you what we had for breakfast. Or if we even had breakfast. Hey, by the way, I'm needing some jokes for the next bingo event. So if you've got some good ones, send them in. Yeah, my bingo number 4 folder is empty of jokes. I have a few left over from the last one that we didn't use, but for the most part, I'm ready for some new ones. You know, I meant to cut him out first because I was going to say if I mess up cutting him out, then I haven't spent all the time coloring, but too late. Plus, I really like coloring. It's like so peaceful. We had storms last night, like a lot of lightning, like it kept me up. I should have slept on the couch last night because I was tossing and turning so much that David was like, what in the world is wrong? I'm like, I can't sleep. And then he couldn't sleep. Now we're going to use dark granny apple green. I label my blends with a P-Touch. If you don't own a P-Touch, I will send you a link. It's the most fabulous little printer you'll ever have. I label everything with it, and I do mean everything. So like, for example, the top of my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, that's the P-Touch. I do have a video on how I do this. So, okay, dark granny apple green. Lane swerve there. I saw a question and I thought I'd answer it real quick. I have to say, I am thinking about hiring someone to come help me organize certain areas of my house. Not my studio, because for the most part it's organized. Everything, not everything has a home, but most things. But like my pantry, I grew up with my dad. I don't know, I didn't really learn how to do kitchen stuff. Yeah, I have this beautiful pantry and I don't really know how to organize it. And I don't really have time. I love organizing, but I don't have time. Okay, cute, right? Now we're gonna color this dude. I'm using light smoky slate. And for this one, I'm going to take my color lifter and just remove some of that from the middle, okay? Just a swoosh. Okay, so we're starting with this one because I think it's just easier to start with the little one. But I will say, if you need to go grab a soda or you need to check the mail, no, I'm kidding. If you need to do something, cutting out the crocodile is going to be a little bit more time consuming. I should have stamped it on a much smaller piece. I try to always remember that people that have mad skills at this say that you're supposed to turn the paper and not your scissors. So I try to remember that, but it's not natural. And I go from showing some white to not showing any, but hey, this is clearly a kid's card, and they are not going to look at it and say, oh, you know, you didn't cut that good. They're going to love it. Bless you, husband. Did y'all hear him sneeze? He's never had allergies ever until last year, and now he has some seasonal allergies. Not enough to start taking meds yet, but crazy how that works, right? There's that. Not too bad, right? So Vicky says she needs help with scrap organization. You mean scrap paper? I'm good at that. I have a really good system. I'm good at that. Listen to me. Okay, where do I start on this dude? Right up here. And I'm not going to look up for questions because I don't want to mess up this one. I bet y'all are saying, okay, when you gonna be done with him? Almost. We're more than halfway done. Now you see why I'm setting. The hardest part is done. I think that the teeth was the hardest. Who remembers my alligator punch blooper from many moons ago? Oh my gosh, that was the funniest video. I accidentally made him a snaggle tooth and I about lost it in the video. I can't remember what blooper video that was, like maybe 3. Somebody asked about my bloopers. I usually leave most of them in now, but like the bingo making takes for last month, I put the bloopers at the end of the video. So if you didn't watch it all the way to the end, then you missed it. I think that if there had been a die set, it probably would have been challenging to even line these things up. This is one of those cards that you're going to definitely make it for your little special someone. I was thinking if I had a grandchild. No, there's not one on the way yet. But if I did have one, this would be a cute card for it. Okay, we're almost there. I know this probably doesn't sell the stamp set. I'm going to show you a different option though. As soon as I get done cutting this out, you can just stamp it on a white layer. You don't have to fussy cut it unless you want to. Yeah, the fussy cutting is optional, but you'll have to cut part of him off. Not much though. Okay, not too bad, right? It's not carrying over, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's not. And I was so excited to have this. It's probably not carrying over because we don't have the dies. I don't know. Okay, we're done cutting. Yoo-hoo! Now, let me share with you what I did. Well, goodness gracious. I cut these out in advance just in case I messed up. Wouldn't you know, if I had not cut them out, I would have messed up. So instead of cutting him out, you can use this instead, and it just cuts off the foot. So I'll show you when we get done making the card how this will work versus this, okay? So we're going to take the first piece and we are going to emboss it with the hammered metal embossing folder. And this one is still in the catalog. The cutoff date, I believe, is, what is the cutoff date? This is super challenging because we have all these dates. So it says June 30th, but there's a date sometime in June that they will say this is the cutoff date. They won't rerun another order, another bunch of the stamp sets. So it's late June when you can still order it until late June. Yeah, that's why I'm still showing things from the mini catalog. It's good until June. So yes, our annual catalog starts on May 4th, I think. But the mini's still good. So I'm going to keep using the mini and go kind of back and forth. Now, I don't want to lose my images that I just did. So I'm going to put them in this bowl and slide it over so that I don't drag it off the desk when I'm embossing. I can't remember the plates to emboss with the 3D. This is a 3D, so I might have to use a different plate. Or not. So this is a 1 and a 4. Doesn't that look like a crocodile? Okay, we're scoring it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And we're gonna do that on both sides. So 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And then we're gonna do this one as well. So the second piece, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1 inch. Now we can put our images back in on my desk. There's that one. Now this one. It is perfect for this card, isn't it? Now what we're going to do is take our the largest oval die we have. Yes, they are retiring, sadly. And we're going to cut the center out here, okay? So I'm going to slide everything over and get the die cut machine again. I'll start over. So I don't want this thing to shift, and I want it to be centered. Got my washi tape here. I think this is the right sandwich. Oh, but I better make this flat or I'm gonna mess it up. I have not touched the new stamp sets, and I kind of sort of won't until late, just because I can't sell them yet. So if I gotta pay for a lot of postage and a lot of catalogs and ink pens and printer ink and all that stuff this month, so I can't really afford a month of no sales. And if I show too much of the new product, I'm not gonna sell any current product. So it's a challenge to balance all that, but yeah, like I said, I've got a lot of catalogs that will be shipping priority mail, so I'm gonna stick with what's current, and then right before the new catalog launches, I'll probably start sprinkling in some new product in a couple weeks, but it's really early. It's almost too early to be showing all the new stuff. I mean, I know I went live and showed my haul video, but we still have lots of really cool product in the mini catalog. A lot, like this stamp set, for example. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is get our crocodile. He's gonna go in here, and we want to place him so that we can also add our greeting right here. Now, you could make it different if you want to, but that's how I'm doing it. So I'm gonna use Sending a Big Smile, and then this little wave. So I'm using Granny Apple Green, and I'm bringing him up a bit because he's gonna fit inside there. So you want him to be seen, and it's okay if the tail goes like that. See his little foot? We're gonna have to glue that down so that it bends when the card bends. Okay, so let me check this again and make sure I like how it looks. And yeah, I like how it looks. Maybe take it up just a smidge. So I'm gonna stamp the little wavy thing up here. Wavy thing. It's a wave. And then the greeting. I better stand up for this one. Now we're going to glue him down. We're going to come back and add more glue in just a minute. We want to make sure that his teeth don't go past the score line, but this foot will. But we're going to fix that in a minute. So now that this is in place, well, it's a little, oh, it'll be fine. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that foot. I'm not even sure you call that a foot. I'm going to hold that for a second. And then now I'm going to bring up these teeth. Now we're going to take our embellishment, which is these matte black dots, and we're going to add 2 of them and give him some eyes that are not closed. There we go. So now we're going to add this layer to this. Now this card does fold flat to mail, but I will tell you that it's a little bit challenging to get together and it not be crooked. So I'm going to actually start with one side because I think it's a little bit easier to line it up one side at a time. Okay, and then this one's going to line up over here. Yeah, okay. I had to double check and make sure I was doing it right. I am doing it right, right? Yeah, okay. Now this one. So it stands, well, yes, it will stand, yes, like that. So now what we're going to do is add this little bird right here. Now, if you look real closely, because we scored this, not scored it, we embossed it. When you emboss a piece of cardstock, it makes it just a tad smaller. So my cardstock on the back is just a little bit off, but I'm just going to trim it with my scissors and nobody will ever know. Now for the back part, remember that basic white layer that I told you about? It's going to go on the very back. So funny. Back here. So sign it, do whatever you want to do, stamp on it, whatever, and then just add it to the back. Okay, so let me get it positioned. So there is your fun fold card for today. And here's the one I made earlier. So cute, right? Who wouldn't smile if they got this card? Okay, y'all have a great day. Thank you so much.